Seeing as I have to summarise the whole macroeconomic debate, I'm thinking I'd better get rid of all punctuation, seeing that it probably would take a few hours if I did otherwise. And as I'm not taking A-levels or any other programme which isn't IB, and taking up every waking second of the so-called best years of my life, I'd like to get this over and done with as soon as possible. Firstly, inflation is the sustained upwards movement in the average price level, and you're probably thinking, well, that sucks, a pair of large, hairy Kiwis. Not necessarily. It also increases GDP, as shown on a graph when shifting out aggregate demand. Who cares? I want my stuff cheap. Well, actually, that decreases unemployment, so even if you didn't take IB, you can still get a job and actually pay for stuff. Probably not wisely, though, seeing as you didn't take KP's IB Econ class. But fear not, non-IB degenerates, because this infomercial will tell you all you need to know about inflation. Not that you'll take any notice, though, seeing as you have the time to actually destroy your brain cells partying every night. The whole debate basically has three teams. Firstly, there are the monetarists, who like the idea of some guy called Frederick Hayek, who basically had the idea that the government should keep their filthy hands away from people's money. The Keynesians, on the other hand, all worship the so-called god of economics, Maynard Keynes, who I'm sure was a really nice guy if he wasn't depicted as something rhyming with the word anchor to the other guy, Hayek. Anyway, he thought the government should dig their filthy hands into the pocket of the tax-paying people and throw it away on stuff the taxpayer doesn't even want. And finally, the hippie intermediates who basically go around saying that they're both right, while fixing up and listening to Bob Dylan saying, make love, not economics. Basically, the reason that these three set of people fight is because we have no idea what the aggregate supply curve looks like. The extreme Keynesians think that the curve in the short run is horizontal and vertical in the long run, meaning that you can continue to spend vast amounts of my and other hard-working people's money to shift out aggregate demand via the fiscal policy without changing any prices. They also think that the money supply has no effect on prices, meaning that they can print tons of money and cause no inflation. Yeah, that worked really well for Germany and Zimbabwe too, and if you're an American watching this is that thing called sarcasm. Anyway, if you tried to tell a Keynesian about Germany and Zimbabwe, they put their hands over their ears and pretend they never heard you. Monetarists, on the other hand, think that printing tons of money is going to make prices go up, and whoever thinks otherwise is mentally depraved. However, they think the curve is vertical, meaning any attempt to decrease unemployment is going to cause inflation, subliminally saying that companies are money-grabbing gits who will raise prices if more people want their stuff. Which, let's be honest, makes complete sense, so lay off. Anyway, as they think it makes no difference to GDP and unemployment, you can control inflation with money supply. So let me get this straight, you can lower prices to however low you want without any changes to employment. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that when companies have less money, they're going to keep everyone on the payroll. Again, Americans, yes, that was sarcasm. And back again to those tree-hugging intermediates once they managed to surface out of their hazy bubble. In an attempt to keep everyone happy, they came up with the idea that both the monetarists and Keynesians are right and wrong at the same time. Good job, hippies, you successfully managed to piss everyone off again. They basically said that the aggregate supply curve is both vertical and horizontal with an extra diagonal bit in the middle. This basically allows for inflation to occur whilst output also increases, which seems to make sense if you have any understanding of microeconomics. This does not apply to you A-level students. Basically, if the hippies are right, apart from proving the benefits of drugs in terms of enhancing intelligence, we can control inflation and unemployment with demand-side policies. Fantastic. More excuses for the government to dig deeper into our pockets to decrease inflation. And how could you possibly talk about the whole macroeconomic debate without talking about the honest, hard-working economics William Phillips? Basically, he claimed that he found a relation between inflation and unemployment, but judging from his scatter graph, there's pretty much a point everywhere on that graph. Yet he still managed to claim that he found a line of best fit through the data that shows an inverse relationship between the two. I mean, I'm not trying to be argumentative or anything, but what a pile of absolute, the next word being censored due to being a non-biased educational video. But the point is, I could even drive a car through a life-size graph of the data points, spin out of control, and still come up with an equally valid line of best fit. Anyway, it was actually managed to be proved wrong when inflation and increasing unemployment occurred in the 1970s. Hooray, we can conclude that Phillips is a moron and his theory is a load of hot air. But no, in an attempt to save his fame, credibility, and job, he said that his theory was not wrong, but the curve had simply shifted. Yeah, thanks a lot, Phillips. You just made my IB economics exam that little bit easier. Anyway, throughout my rambling during this whole video, I'm pretty sure you caught onto the fact that economics is a social science and has about the same amount of facts as Paris Hilton has talent. But before I start insulting anyone I can with comparisons to things with low quantities, such as Katy Perry's lyrical writing abilities, or as fundamentally low as Russell Brand's humour, I better summarise exactly what I've been trying to explain. These two sides and the hippie jury just have different opinions, and that's okay, just as long as it coincides with mine. The monetarist thinks the market is fine by itself and kind of like a professional football player, so don't touch it and it won't come crashing down as if it's been shot. Unless it turns out to be Cristiano Ronaldo, of course. Yet the Keynesians think the market is not okay by itself, so it's necessary for the government to spend your money for you. And sure, I respect their opinion, apart from the fact that it is wrong. If you're unsure about the validity of anything said on this video, here's a picture of Tim Roth.